July 22nd, Tuesday, Memorial of St. Mary Magdalene. Reflection by Reverend Father Clifford Atta Anim. John 20, 1-2 and 11-18. Today we pause to reflect on a truly profound moment, the recognition at the tomb. It's a moment that, invites us to ponder the depths of faith and the mystery of encountering the risen Christ in our own lives. July 22nd, Tuesday, it's the Memorial of St. Mary Magdalene. This reflection is offered by myself, Reverend Father Clifford Atta Anim. The Gospel reading is from John chapter 20, verses 1-2 and 11-18. Recognition at the tomb, the turning point of Easter faith. The Gospel reading for today offers one of the most moving and profound moments in the New Testament, the recognition of the risen Christ by Mary Magdalene. Early on the first day of the week, she stood weeping outside the tomb, burdened by sorrow and confusion. At first, she did not recognize Jesus, mistaking him for the gardener until he called her by name, Mary. That moment of recognition reveals a deeper theological truth. Faith often dawns not through dramatic signs, but through a personal encounter with the living God, who knows us individually and lovingly calls us by name. As we hear in Isaiah chapter 43, verse 1 and John chapter 10, verse 3, this pattern of gradual revelation is, a key motif in John's Gospel. As seen in the earlier dialogues with Nicodemus in chapter 3 and the Samaritan woman in chapter 4, misunderstanding often comes before full recognition and belief. Mary's tears, her focus on the tomb, and her expectation of finding a dead body probably veiled her spiritual vision. She sought Jesus among the dead, just as the angel later tells the women in Luke's Gospel, "Why do you seek the living among the dead?" That's from Luke chapter 24, verse 5. Only when Jesus addressed her personally did the veil lift, and she responded with affectionate reverence, calling him Rabboni, or teacher. Jesus immediately gives her a mission, saying, "Go to my brothers and tell them, I am ascending to my Father and your Father, to my God and your God." That's from John chapter 20, verse 17. This statement is, rich in theological meaning. It emphasizes both his unique divine sonship and the shared sonship believers receive through grace. Mary obeys promptly, becoming the apostle to the apostles, the first to proclaim the resurrection. "I have seen the Lord." Her testimony anticipates the core of apostolic preaching and continues to be echoed in the Eucharistic proclamation of the Church. Christ has died. Christ is risen. Christ will come again. The Church Fathers, like St. Gregory the Great, noted that it was love that kept Mary at the tomb and love that opened her eyes. St. Thomas Aquinas, in his commentary on John, also referenced the simple yet powerful faith of the humble. It is possible that an old woman, una vetula, may have greater faith than a learned theologian. This highlights that divine revelation is not always grasped through intellect alone, but through a heart attuned to Christ's voice. We must keep our hearts and minds open to encounter the risen Jesus in the ordinary moments of our lives, through personal prayer, the celebration of the Sacraments, especially the Eucharist, and in meditative engagement with sacred Scripture. These moments are, honestly, where Christ continues to call us by name. The risen Jesus is truly present, body, blood, soul, and divinity in the consecrated species. To approach the Eucharist is really to encounter the living Christ, as truly as Mary met him outside the tomb. The triune God dwells within us through sanctifying grace. This divine presence, strengthens us to resist sin, to practice mercy, and to serve our neighbor in both spiritual and corporal works of mercy. In the end, Mary Magdalene's encounter is not only a historical event, but a spiritual paradigm for all disciples. The risen Christ is often right before us, but we only recognize him when we allow ourselves to be called, loved, and sent. God bless you.